I know we're talking about the disaster, but for months and months and months, we've been talking about all of the other needs and expenses of the city. The firefighter deal, beyond which is covered this year, but beyond the additional raises that will come for police and municipal, the ambulance staff that's needed, the potential of the Rebuild Houston lawsuit.
Houston City Council member Sallie Alcorn pitching, you guessed it, a tax hike to plug budget holes, current and future. Alcorn pointed out that the city of Houston's property tax rate 10 years ago was 63 cents per $100 valuation and just 51 cents today. Citing Houston ISD's massive bond, Harris County's planned 8% hike, and the flood controls district's bid for more revenue, Mayor John Whitmire called the money-raising environment complex.
I don't agree that raising taxes should be the only option, or maybe even the first option.
And yet this year's heavy weather has opened up the exception to the state revenue cap for all local governments which have experienced a natural disaster, allowing tax hikes over 3.5% without permission from voters. Panel, that is a difficult option for cash-strapped elected leaders to resist. Charles? Take it.
It is. And, you know, if there's one person who could make me support a tax increase, it's probably Councilmember Alcorn. But the fact is, it's just too expensive when you look at everything in the aggregate. So when you look at Harris County, they voted for an 8% property tax hike, which amounts to about $166 for the average homeowner. The property tax from the flood control district that we're going to be voting on in November is about $60 for the average homeowner. The Houston, if they do the break-even rate, it's going to come out to about $160. So we're looking at $386 per homeowner this year. And that's on top of everything else that we're dealing with. And, you know, I think when you look at it, you know, the Kinder Houston area survey came out this year and said that the average Houstonian cannot afford a $400 incidental if it came up. And so if we're looking at this stuff and we're understanding that people are broke and can't afford it, we really need to take a step back and look at other things.
Bill.
Well, add to that a massive increase in the water rates that have taken place over the last several years. Add to that the HISD bond, which they say is not going to raise taxes. I promise you it's going to. And look, at some point in time, people have an option where they're going to live. And there's a value proposition of what am I getting for what am I paying? And in the last 10 years, 200,000 people have made the decision that living someplace other than Harris County makes sense to them, and they've left. The city of Houston's population has been flat for almost a decade now. No increase in population in Houston. I want y'all to listen to me. When somebody tells you that the city of Houston is growing, they are lying to you or they are uninformed. The population has been almost perfectly flat for almost 10 years now. And why is that? It's because the value proposition of living here is getting worse and worse over time. Charles's numbers show it's going to make it worse.
You agree with that, Sue?
Yes, I do. And again, I mean, it's 386,
yeah.
Right, per year. Divide that by 12. That's what 30 something a month. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I agree. They probably do need to go ahead and raise taxes, but again, I think people would like to see where there's departments that could be cut. There's departments between the city and county that could be cooperative and combined, and that would save money. So I really think they got to go look at some of the departments and figure out how they carve back, how they cut, and how they combine with the county before they move forward with a tax increase.
Like the $250 million the TERS are taking in.
Got to leave it there. Up next, priorities on full display. Mayor John Whitmire boosting starting pay for police cadets in a bid to improve recruitment and retention.